Welcome back to Live at 5. It's time now for our weekly visit from an Edward Jones professional, and today we get Chris Jones. Good afternoon, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, Alan. Thanks for having me.
Great. Now, today we're going to talk about those folks who've done their jobs with their money throughout their lives, and they've saved it. It's time to retire, and now it's starting time to withdraw some of that. But the government even has a say in how you do that, and RMDs is what I understand. Can you talk about those?
You betcha, Alan. First of all, RMD is an acronym for the abbreviation of Required Minimum Distributions. For those people that were fortunate enough to have had a job that they could put money away in a 401k plan or an IRA account, they've not paid any taxes all those years because of tax deferral. But once they reach the age of 72, they just changed the law 2 years ago. Once people reach the age of 72, they must begin taking out distributions, thus the term required minimum distributions.
So that money starts coming out, it becomes taxable, and so there is a required minimum amount, but as you suggest here, that number is changing and actually lowering a little bit.
Yes, well, what that's going to do is the IRS for this year, for 22, they looked at longevity and life expectation, and every so often they will adjust life expectancy. And this year they did adjust it upward so that people are living longer. So by upping the age, when you base your required minimum distribution, they base it on your age and the account value at the end of each calendar year as of 12/31. So now with life expectancy going up a year or so, that will then, when they divide your age by your dollar amount, it will reduce the amount of distribution. Therefore, that would reduce one's taxes. Therefore, that for the most part makes it better for people. And remember, this is a word required, so people minimum, so they can actually take out more than that, but the more they take out, the more taxes they will pay.
And maybe this is a little bit for our own good. If you take out less, that leaves a little more for later on since we are living longer.
That is a very valid point. Not only are you taking out less and reducing your tax liability, by taking out less of your IRA each year as a distribution, you're allowing the IRA to be bigger and last longer because people are living longer. So it's probably wise that we plan to be here longer than less. That way we can plan accordingly to make sure we don't run out of money before we're not here.
Well, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer every day to these RMDs being required for me. Chris, how can people get a hold of you at Edward Jones learn a little bit more about this and everything else that you know?
Thank you, Alan. We can be reached, or I can be reached personally at my branch location here in St. Joe, which is 1005 West St. Martin's Drive, just right behind the Chamber of Commerce building. We have other offices in town to serve the community. So when anybody can, they should maybe set a time to come in, or at least make a phone call one of us, and we can discuss their situation individually.
That sounds great. Required minimum distributions. Chris Jones from Edward Jones, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Alan.
You bet. Thank you. All right, stay with us. We've got more Live at 5 for you after the break.